Hi everybody, welcome to my channel if you're new here. If you're not new here, welcome back. If you're not new here, I'm so sorry for being a little absent on this platform. I took like a month or two break because if you didn't already know, I'm also a full-time college student on top of being a model, so life gets a little crazy sometimes and it was getting really hard for me to put content out. But every single day I was thinking about YouTube and missing it and wanting to film more videos. So I'm hopefully going to be posting a lot more than I have been. Fingers crossed that I can start posting more again because I miss it so much. YouTube is something I genuinely have always loved doing. So hoping to get back to how it was. Posting every Wednesday. I don't even know how this big break happened. I kind of took like 1 week off, then it became 2, then it became 3, a month, 2 months, I don't know. But like I said, I've been thinking about YouTube like every day and have been so sad that I haven't had time for it because I love filming videos for you guys. And while I've been gone, I've been getting a lot of questions and DMs from you guys and a lot of people saying that they miss my modeling videos and that they want new topics covered and things like that. Like I've said in a couple of my other videos, I get a lot of questions from you guys like every day or at least weekly. Soon I want to do a little Q&A on my Instagram where I ask you guys to ask me questions about modeling. Then I'll sit down and answer all those questions in one video because a lot of the questions I get asked are like the same ones over and over or just specific things that I think everyone could benefit from hearing if you are interested in all of this type of stuff. I know these videos always attract a lot of new viewers and new subscribers. So if you happen to be a new viewer or subscriber, my name's Noelle, I'm 19 and I'm signed with Wilhelmina Models in LA and Miami. And I just like to come on here and make some videos for you guys to share everything that I know. I've been modeling for about a little over 3 years, so of course I'm still learning every day. There's so much to learn in general in this industry and about everything, so I'm not perfect and I'm still learning things every day, but I do like to share what I know with you guys because like I said, I get a lot of people in my DMs asking me these questions. This week's video is going to be things you should work on before you become a model. Sit down talking modeling videos are like my most requested video, and for a minute I was making them all the time and I was like, oh my gosh, is this getting repetitive? Is this boring to watch? Do they all seem the same? But everyone still only wants this type of video. So listening to you guys and doing your requests, I always share with you guys like tips on how to become a model, the steps to take, how to apply, but today I'm focusing more on things you should work on before you apply and before you get started so that you know you're confident in your skills and you have everything nailed down and you're prepared for those photo shoots, those castings, those agency visits. So let's get into that. Okay, I have everything on my phone if you're wondering what I'm looking at. The first thing you need to work on before you become a model is your walk. Having a good walk is really, really important. I think if you can master your walk, make it your own, put your little spin on it, make it unique to you, that's an amazing skill to have. A walk is really important to have nailed down as a model because obviously there's runway, and some people might argue like, well, I'm not planning to do runway in New York or Milan or any of that high fashion stuff, so like why do I have to have a good walk down? I've met with lots of clients before at castings and they ask to see your walk even though it's like an e-com job or maybe it's like a basic job. They just kind of want to see your confidence. So the walk isn't necessarily about only booking runway stuff, and it's not only necessary if you're going to be a runway model. I think just in general it's a good skill to have because you never know when a client's going to ask you to pull it out, so very important. The next thing is learning how to own a room. This is more about your energy. I guess you could boil it down to confidence, which I think is obvious in modeling, but I always say that in modeling is like 95% confidence and just the energy you bring when you walk into a room. Let's not confuse this with being cocky because being cocky is not cute and it's not something to be proud of. We don't want to be cocky and nobody likes being around a cocky girl. That's not cute. But I think just having that energy about you, like how you present yourself and just like knowing you know yourself, you know your abilities, and you're confident in your skills, but you're not like, hey, I'm better than you type of thing, you know? So I think it's just about learning how to walk into a room, own the room, be confident. That's very important. And like I always say when I talk about modeling and confidence in these videos, it's a skill that comes with time, and obviously like your first couple of big things like your first casting or your first agency visit, you're not going to be fully confident because you're not sure what you're doing. It can feel a little awkward. The setting is new to you. Sometimes it's in an uncomfortable environment. Like, those things can really deter your confidence, but the more that you do it, the more that you're doing like big scary things, it gets easier. I am someone that struggles with anxiety really bad, and for some reason with modeling it just does not exist, because I think I've just like gotten so used to having to do these like big and scary things that normally my old self could never ever do. And the more that I do them and the more that I face my fears and am not afraid to be confident in front of important people, these things get easier. So just over time, being confident in yourself. Confidence comes from knowing what you're doing. So if you don't know what you're doing, you're stuck, you're lost, you feel awkward when you're trying to pose in front of a camera, you feel awkward around like a big agency or like agents you're trying to impress, it's because you feel like you don't know what you're doing. So when you know how to have good conversations, you know how to walk, you have all these skills down, then you'll be confident. So it kind of all goes hand in hand. I didn't even realize this, but the next one I was gonna share is kind of like the same thing. Just carrying yourself well and holding good conversations. This is super important, especially if you're a beginning model that's getting in the stages of meeting with agencies after you sent in your digitals. Let's say they want to meet with you. You definitely have to know how to talk professionally and carry yourself in a way that's confident and radiant, but yeah, professional, and that you know your worth and you're confident. I think a lot of people have the misconception that like when you get signed with an agency, all they do is take photos of you and say like, we think you're pretty and we think you have a great look, we want to sign you. Here's a contract. There's a lot more that goes into it. So in order to impress a big agency or land a contract with your dream agency, you definitely have to know how to carry yourself in a way that's professional, like I said, radiant, confident, and it's not even just about how you look, it's about how you act, how you talk. Are you professional? Yeah, you could be a pretty girl, but are you gonna be professional in front of clients? Are you gonna show up on time? Like, all those things are really, really important. So I think when you can have these really meaningful and like professional conversations with these agencies or agents or whoever you're talking to, clients, that will really help elevate you as a model. And it's a great skill to have, because a lot of times you'll be at a conference table sitting and talking to like 3 or 4 agents from a team at an agency. You're gonna have to know what to say. So I just think knowing how to respond in professional settings and making sure that you articulate yourself well and slow down when you talk. And this was a skill I learned over time. Trust me, these professional conversations and knowing how to carry yourself and all that comes with practice, which I'm sure you could guess. I remember when I was shopping around for agencies a couple years back, I kept having meeting after meeting with different agencies, sitting down in conference rooms and talking to like 4 or 5 different agents at once, them asking me important questions that I had to have responses ready. And the point of me bringing up these conversations and the importance of knowing how to have them efficiently is because if you're in that stage where you're still interviewing with agencies, you're still shopping around, talking to people, talking to agencies, you don't want to get like stuck in a bad contract or stuck agreeing to something that you don't want to do. So I think speaking up, having professional conversations, knowing how to articulate yourself well, and saying no when you don't agree with something, all those skills are extremely important. And these conversations can be scary in the beginning, especially if you've never met with an agency before and this is like your first time meeting with anybody in the modeling world. It can all be really scary, but I just think having those skills, knowing how to talk in a professional setting, not letting the pressure get to you, it's all really, really important and will definitely help you in the long run. Next, I think this is a little bit more of an obvious one, but your physical well-being. So as I think everyone knows, modeling requires your physicality to be on point. Obviously, we don't want to go to any like unhealthy measures to look good, but our job is to have a good physique and to take care of ourselves and to eat nutritious things that make us feel good inside, look good on the outside. It's part of the job. So I just think before you get into this whole world and industry, it's really important to start taking care of yourself early, work out, eat a healthy diet. Balance is still important. All models don't just eat salad. Like, balance is important. Definitely don't like starve yourself, obviously, or just be super restrictive. But I think practicing those habits ahead of time will really help you transition into this industry because it becomes a much bigger part of your life to eat healthy and work out and take care of yourself. And so if you're already in a good routine and like have all those habits down beforehand, I think it'd be a lot easier. The last tip is working on your mental well-being. So this comes more into like understanding that rejection is just part of the process. Again, if you're in the stages where you're applying to agencies, sending in digitals, waiting to hear back, it's gonna be a little anxiety inducing and it might make you feel like, why am I not good enough? Why didn't they want to sign me? The main point is that you don't want to let rejection get to you or deter you in any way, because that's the easiest way to never level up and to stay stagnant. If you keep letting agency rejections or client rejections or not getting a casting, if you let all that stuff get to your head and affect you and affect your confidence, you'll probably stay stagnant, because you have to keep putting yourself out there, keep hearing no, 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 till you finally hear that one yes. And hearing that one yes is so rewarding when you keep putting yourself out there. So I think that a lot of girls will get really discouraged when they hear no from a big agency they wanted to get signed with, or if maybe you're already signed and a certain client doesn't pick you at a casting. A lot of girls will let that get to their head in the beginning, which it's easy to. I mean, it's a huge comparison thing. You're being compared to like 30 to 100 girls sometimes at castings. Like, it can feel really, really bad, and that's totally normal and okay to feel that way. But I just think it's more about mentally being strong and getting past those normal feelings that a normal person would have. Getting past that, I remember something that I did when I first started. I've mentioned this I think before, but I sat myself down and said, all right, this entire modeling thing is gonna make you feel insecure. Like, that's just the bottom line. And that's the honest truth. And I think everyone knows that, but that's just the honest truth. It's gonna make you feel insecure. The entire industry is comparison. Like, that's a given. This entire job is comparing you to another girl who's gonna look better in my campaign, who's gonna look better in this ad. Like, that's what brands are thinking, which they have a right to think because they're the ones paying for the shoots and the campaigns, all that, whatever. But I mentally prepared myself for how hard it was going to be. And of course, in the beginning, it was like, oh my gosh, like, what's wrong with me? Why wouldn't they pick me? Or of course, those things are going to get to you. And especially in the beginning, it's hard not to feel affected by that. But I just think the more that you tell yourself, like, this is what comes with the industry, I gotta be okay hearing no, the easier it will be when you do hear no. I think that's everything for this video. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I would love to have you here. I'm going to get back on my posting schedule, I promise. Life has just been crazy. The beginning of every year is always really, really crazy for me. I just had 2 of the busiest months of my life. February and March felt like a blur to me. So I promise I'm gone for good reason. I'm working, I'm doing school. It's crazy and it's a lot, but I do miss YouTube. I do miss talking to you guys, and I miss interacting with you, and I promise to get back on my schedule very soon. Thank you for your patience and supporting me and sticking with me even when I do take breaks and am missing. But I thought just to get back into it, I would just do a really quick little sit down talking video, nothing super crazy, just to get back into it. If you guys have any video requests, leave them down below, or you can always DM me on Instagram. I always answer whenever I see them, so make sure to do that. All of my other social media platforms and my link tree, which has everything, is all in the description always if you want to go follow me or check me out on some other platforms. I use Instagram and TikTok more on like a daily basis, so if you want to hear from me more, if I'm not posting on here, definitely go and follow me on there. But anyways, I want to stop talking. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.